We all have one question. Who are the Anunnaki?
The Anunnaki is arguably one of the greatest mysteries of our ancient history and our past.
We have to ask, who were the gods? The gods were extraterrestrials.
Join me in this grand odyssey and discovery as we seek to uncover the hidden truths of the Anunnaki.
By studying the Anunnaki, we truly unlock the secrets within ourselves at the same time.
We are the offsprings of extraterrestrials, and that's not coincidence.
This is the saga of the Anunnaki and their ancient secrets revealed. All right, what's up? What's up? That's the trailer for Anunnaki, Ancient Secrets Revealed. What's happening? I'm Billy Carson, aka Forbidden Knowledge. And welcome to the Forbidden Knowledge podcast. Tonight, we're going to have a special guest who should be popping in here very soon. And shout out to everyone that is in the live chat. So many great comments already. I see a few people just showed up for the first time, which is incredible. So thank you for making it. And I also see a lot of people that are here all the time with a lot of great support. All right. So I just see so much love in the chat all the time. Just really incredible and great to see. All right. Hey. Jay Play says, I'll be at the Regal in Houston. All right. I'm looking forward to seeing you there. Jay Plays. All right. And I see so many other people in the live chat that are just, people that just come here and support every single time. I appreciate you, CC, Rachel Stevens, T, King, Notorious, Todd Plaster. I mean, just so many great people in here. I mean, I wish I could name all of you. Obviously, it's just impossible to do. But thanks for joining us tonight. Hopefully my guest will be joining very soon. He's coming in live from Egypt. So he'll be coming in live from Egypt. And you can see behind me, this is the title to his book, which became a bestseller. And it's Egypt Before the Written History, The Lost Technology of Ancient Egypt. And that's my very, very good friend, Mohamed Ibrahim. And we're going to bring him on right now. We're going to have a great discussion tonight as we're going to talk about literally the lost technology of ancient Egypt, which is featured in his book, his best-selling book, Egypt Before the Written History. Make sure you go to Amazon.com and buy yourself a copy. I'll be dropping the link in the live chat tonight. This book is an incredible tome of information. And guess who wrote the foreword to this book? I did. So Billy Carson wrote the foreword. Great book. And I'm going to bring on Mohamed. He just popped in. Mohamed. Can you hear me?
Billy.
Hello, man. Hey, I can tell one thing first and foremost. I can tell that you've been exercising, man. You lost some weight.
Yes.
Yeah, you look good, man. You look good. I know you're in Egypt right now. What time is it in Egypt?
Pardon?
What time is it in Egypt? There might be a slight delay. I think he's frozen,
Egypt
guys.
is always great, yes, but maybe some heat waves.
Okay, but what time? Can you hear me?
Now it's 3 a.m., 3 in the morning.
Okay, 3 a.m. I think there's a small delay in our signal.
I think so.
Can you? Yeah, there's a slight delay. Okay, I tell you what you do. Go out and come back in one more time, okay? Go out and then click on the link, come right back in one more time. That way we try to get a little bit closer to real time. Okay, he's going to go out and come back in. He's in Egypt, guys, so he's trying to connect with us right now. But you listen to me. You want to hear what this man has to say, because I think he's about 6 hours or 7 hours ahead of us right now. So for him, it's probably, I don't know, 1 o'clock in the morning or something like that. But this man is a homegrown Egyptologist, okay? Homegrown. In other words, he's from the old country. He grew up in Egypt where there's, no electricity, no cars, no farming in most cases, had to go buy food in different parts of the city once a month. Let's see if we can bring him back. Okay, Mohamed, let's see if the timing is better now.
Yeah. What about now?
Okay, it's a little bit better, I think, but there's a slight delay in me talking and you getting the information. We lost. He's muted. Hold on. Let me unmute him.
I think there is a delay about 3-4 seconds.
Yeah, seems like a delay about 3-4 seconds. Okay, we're going to make it work. So what I'm going to do first is have you tell everyone who you are and where you came from. Talk about the old country, growing up, establishing your roots in Egypt, but your lineage to ancient Egypt. Oh, he's out again. A signal must be bad. Okay, well, the reason why I wanted Mohamed on this tonight, and I'm pretty sure we'll get it figured out, is because that is the man that gets us, the Forbidden family, a lot of VIP access throughout Egypt. When we go to Egypt, he literally is the person that gets us the access that no one else can get. I mean, when I say access, I'm talking about super VIP, private dinners inside of ancient temples, VIP white parties in front of the Great Sphinx, watching the Sphinx, being at the Sphinx's paws and watching the sunrise coming out of the east before sunrise, and sitting there and watching the sunrise in the east at the Sphinx's paws, going into hidden chambers inside the Great Pyramid, spending 5, 6, 7 hours inside of the King's Chamber inside the Great Pyramid, and exploring other hidden areas deep beneath in the subterranean shaft. Going into hidden crypts that have been sealed for in some cases, 40 or 50 years in different temples around the region. Sailing down the Nile on a Nile cruise and stopping off at incredible ports along the way, and going to visit ancient sites, driving way out in the middle of the desert all the way to the Temple of Seti and visiting the Osirian behind it, which is a subterranean area that is kind of flooded now, but you can see that it's most likely resembles a machine. All these access sites that he gets us to, where, like I said, the majority of people can't get into, is what makes him such a crucial part of the Forbidden family. We're going to try. He just came back in again. Let's see what happens now.
Hello. I think this is better.
Hey, are you there now? Oh, this is much better. Okay.
I used to sound.
All right, my friend. How are you doing? Yeah, you had to do that. Absolutely. And how's the wife?
She's very good. Thank you, Billy.
Okay. Great. Excellent. All right. So what I wanted you to do was to tell the people a little bit about your background and growing up in Egypt, and kind of where you came from, because I think it's important for people to understand that you're really homegrown, from the old country of Egypt.
Yes, I am from a city very close to Saqqara. This city is called Badrashin. It is the main city of Saqqara, Dahshur, Abu Sir, and so I can tell you from a very young age. When I was 10 years old, my school took
When I was 10 years
to
old,
start.
my school took to
So
start.
I started to have or to pay
So
attention
I
sites
started
to
to
these
have
windows.
or to pay attention.
Also, the
These
window of our
windows.
kitchen from our house, I used to see
Also, the window of our kitchen,
Abu
from our
Sir.
house, I used to see Abu
So I
Sir.
continue from a very young age. I was
I
very interested.
continue from a very young age. I was very interested.
Your audio is breaking up a little bit. It's kind of spotty. Are the horns honking outside? Because I think every time the horn honks, we can't hear you.
I don't know what happened because the signal.
I don't know what happened because the signal.
Yeah, it's a weak signal today. It's the delay is better, but now we can't hear what you're saying, unfortunately. Yeah, it's just cutting in, cutting out. So, but let's try one more time to go out and come back in one more time.
Okay.
And if not, then I'll have to just. Oh, somebody says the echo. Wait. Let me see what somebody says about fixing this in the chat. Hold on. He says, it's echoing. Do you have it playing on your side, like the audio somewhere?
And my side.
And my side.
Yeah. Are you playing? Do you have YouTube open or another TV on behind you?
No. I will bring some earphones.
Okay.
Maybe that's the reason.
I will bring some earphones. Maybe that's the reason.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Try that one. Yeah. See if you can do that. If you can get that going.
Yes. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Cool. While he's working on that, everyone, let me read the foreword to the book, Egypt Before the Written History. Okay. And what I love about this book, it shows you the technology. We have so many pictures in this book that show you the actual evidence of technology being used. So in the foreword, I say, in the shadow of Egypt's towering pyramids, amidst the shimmering sands of the Sahara, and along the serene banks of the Nile, a civilization of remarkable ingenuity and enduring mystery once thrived. The land of pharaohs, mummies, and hieroglyphs has long held humanity in its thrall, captivating our imaginations and sparking endless fascination. It is a realm where time seems to stand still and where the echoes of ancient wisdom continue to resonate across the ages. Egypt Before the Written History, The Lost Technology of Ancient Egypt by Mohamed Ibrahim beckons you to embark on a captivating journey into the heart of this enigmatic civilization, where the sands of time cannot obscure the brilliance of its achievements. Within these pages, you will encounter the intellectual and spiritual legacy of a people who left an indelible mark on history, one that reaches far beyond the boundaries of their empire. Egyptian civilization, with its pyramids, temples, and mummies, has long been a subject of study and admiration, yet beyond the iconic imagery lies a profound depth of knowledge and wisdom that has only begun to be fully appreciated in recent years. This book serves as a key to unlock the hidden chambers of that knowledge, shedding light on the mysteries of ancient Egyptian science, medicine, religion, and philosophy. From the precise art of mummification to the precise measurements of the Great Pyramid, from the complex religious beliefs that guided daily life to the profound insights into the nature of existence, you will discover a civilization whose wisdom and innovations continue to astonish and inspire. As we delve into the depths of Egypt's ancient wisdom, we must also grapple with the tantalizing notion of what might still remain uncovered beneath the shifting sands of time. The allure of lost knowledge waiting to be unearthed by future generations adds an air of excitement and adventure to the study of Egypt's heritage. The lost technology of ancient Egypt is amazing. It is a testament to the enduring allure of this remarkable civilization. It is an invitation to explore the depths of a culture that, though long gone, still whispers its secrets to those who are willing to listen. As you embark on this journey, may you be captivated, enlightened, and inspired by the timeless wisdom of Egypt's ancient sages. Prepare to uncover the treasures of the past, and may this book be your guide in unraveling the mysteries of the lost knowledge of ancient Egypt. That's by Billy Carson. So that's the foreword that I wrote for this book, which I think is a phenomenal book. This is Mohammed's first book, and it's published by Forbidden Knowledge. As you know, we have our own publishing company, so we publish books. And when I saw his initial draft of this book, I was like amazed. Okay, just totally amazed. Somebody thinks my speaker's causing the echo. I don't know. Let me see. I don't have any videos on here. Let me try one thing. All right, we're back now. Somebody said the audio was delayed. Okay. How's it doing now, everyone? Is the audio and lips matching now? Are we on point? Okay, somebody says my mic. It should be fixed now. Okay, so somebody said it's fixed and working fine. Can you hear me, Mohamed? Okay. I can't hear you, though. We can't hear you. The sound is off. Yeah. You got to turn your, let's see here. You're not muted on my end. You there?
Yeah, I think it's fine now, right?
Okay. This sounds better.
Okay, good.
Okay, but now you're frozen. Okay. Let's see. Let's say a few things. So just give everybody a quick update as to who you are and right now what your company does.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I'm Mohamed Ibrahim, of course. I work as a tour guide for more than 24 years now. I was graduated to work as a mainstream tour guide, explaining the mainstream stories, talking about the pyramid, that it is a tomb for realities. But when I was studying about ancient Egypt, I had so many questions, and I didn't like the idea to explain everything as it is happened because of lots of work, because of many workers, and because of being patient. But I didn't have enough sources to know more about or to have answers for these questions. So what happened that when I was graduated, I started to work on the real field, and I started to see some of the answers. Like I remember my first time seeing the bent pyramid. That was for me it was like a changing the pyramid being a mistake. That for me who had alternative stories about Egypt. And slowly I worked with big names and famous names.
Well, we lost him. I think he's having some problems with this technology. It's Egypt, and you can tell he's really in Egypt because it's sometimes the internet gets a little off. It's kind of hard to keep a strong connection. Let's try one more time. Mohamed, you there?
Yes, yes.
We were losing you. We lost so much of what you said.
I was talking about my first time to start to know about the pre-Diluvian Egypt, prehistoric Egypt, that there was more than one civilization. And I'm talking about civilizations, not about a group of food hunters and primitive people. And then I started to know more about engineering, about the ancient technologies, and I started to pay attention to the evidence, the tool marks, and to the sophisticated products. Like when you read in my book about the vases and the stone jars, these kind of products, I can tell you clearly that during the entire dynastic time, the 30 dynasties, they didn't manage to produce one jar like the ones we found from the pre-dynastic time. Not a single jar from granite, as an example, or from the corundum was produced by the dynastic Egyptians, and it is similar to and the high quality or the super quality jars were found from the pre-dynastic time. And it was my dream to have my own travel agency so I can lead the tours according to this concept, the concept of knowledge and also the concept of high service, high quality service. So I had a kind of a simple office in the beginning. My company started as an office. It was only me. And by time I started to have assistants. And now I have my own company. We own the company, my family and I. And my wife, Noha, is working as the CEO of the company. I do the field part, and she does the logistics, the bookings, and paying attention to the details. Okay, so Saba Tours is now our gate to lead hundreds of successful tours to Egypt.
Yeah, absolutely. And you're doing a phenomenal job. As a matter of fact, Forbidden Knowledge has partnered with Saba Tours the last few years. And we have another tour coming up in just a few months. We'll have two tours coming up. We have a tour to Turkey, and we also have a tour to Egypt again. So both tours are scheduled and already booked. Both tours are sold out, so we're not taking anybody for those. We're only taking now for 2025 for next year because these tours are already locked and ready to go. But we're so excited to bring people back to Egypt and now to bring people to Turkey, which is going to be amazing, to go to Göbekli Tepe, Karahan Tepe, Derinkuyu, and all these sites so that we can research it for ourselves, see it with our own eyes, and hopefully find some evidence of lost technology.
Yeah, exactly. We're going to do the same type of tour as we lead tours in Turkey. And the good news that the people who are arranging our tour in Turkey, they are like-minded. There are negotiations with the. They're not only going to have ancient Egyptian sites experience, but we see some of the elders in some villages and cities. So it's going to be a phenomenal tour also.
Yeah, absolutely. No doubt. One of the things that I want people to know on this live is that obviously we're having a little bit of connection issues, but if you want to see Mohamed Ibrahim speak in person, he's a phenomenal speaker and a phenomenal teacher. He's going to be speaking at the Forbidden Conference. So that's on coming up in August. August 3rd is the Forbidden Conference, and August 4th is the Forbidden Conscious Awards. So it's Conscious Awards weekend. On the 3rd, we're going to have a speaking conference, and Mohamed is going to be one of the speakers there. He's going to speak for about an hour and a half at the conference. He will be one of our incredible speakers at the conference, and we can't wait to have him there speaking at the conference. We also have Robert Edward Grant speaking at the conference. And of course, I'll be speaking at the conference. And guess what? At the Forbidden Conference, we're going to do a live premiere of my new docuseries, Anunnaki, Ancient Secrets Revealed. So you'll see that very soon at the Conscious Awards. I see somebody asking about Detroit. Detroit's coming up very soon. In about 2.5 weeks, we'll be in Detroit. And I'll be dropping more links to this in the live chat But we will have Mohamed speaking over here in Miami, Florida. He's coming all the way across from Egypt to speak at the Forbidden Conference. So it's going to be an amazing conference that you don't want to miss. And of course, you definitely don't want to miss the Conscious Awards, which is the second annual award show. Last year was amazing. This year is going to be even more mind-blowing. And don't forget that what we're doing now is Saturday is going to be the Forbidden Conference. Saturday evening is actually going to be a VIP yacht cruise. And then we have Sunday morning is going to be a book signing. So you'll be able to come out, and I'll be there with my books. Mohamed will be there with his books, and we'll be autographing the books, meet and greet right on site. This is my newest book, okay? We'll be there right on site autographing these books, so you can bring your book with you, and we'll sign them there in Miami at the Forbidden Conscious Awards Sunday morning. That's free. Doesn't cost you any money. Totally free. And then that afternoon is the red carpet. So meet us on the red carpet. Myself, my wife Elizabeth, Mohamed, Ibrahim, and all the other nominees, because he's also nominated for Author of the Year. Meet us on the red carpet and take some photos with us. And then right after that will be the actual Conscious Awards, something that you just don't want to miss. All right. And what's beautiful about the award show this year is we're giving away a Mercedes-Benz. So last year we gave away an Audi A4, and this year we're going to give away a Mercedes live at the actual show. All right. So we can't wait to have you out here, Mohamed, to talk about the technology. Oh, he's gone again. Here we go. We can't wait to have you out here to talk about the lost technology of ancient Egypt and give you a lecture out here in Miami, Florida. I know it's going to be amazing. One thing that I did want to show you real quick so you can talk on is this artifact. Similar to some of the artifacts that you've shown us in Egypt that have tool marks on it.
Which?
Can you see that?
Artifact?
Yeah. Can you see it on the screen?
No.
Okay. Oh, your screen is probably a phone screen. Okay. Yeah, it is. Okay, you won't be able to see it then. Well, you know the one that you showed us that has the ridges inside of it that shows that
Yes.
that stone had been drilled with some type of a drill to create a circular hole.
Yes.
Can you talk a little bit about the stone, the type of stone, and the type of tool that would be needed to cut into that stone?
Okay. Of course, yes, I don't see that object, but I will tell you the idea in general. And it is not my personal talk, okay, because it requires an engineer to explain this. But because I worked with many of them, especially Christopher Dunn, so I learned it in a good way how to explain the story. First, we talk about different types of stones were used to produce these objects. Okay, there is the regular calcite, which we call it alabaster. Maybe that is not a very strong stone, but it is still what we can call it sensitive stone. It is a stone like half glass, half stone. Okay, like crystal style from inside. So it needs a good tool to cut alabaster. We cannot use a chisel and a hammer to produce nice edges and perfect corners. So yes, it is not hard stone, but it is sensitive, delicate stone. So it requires this kind of fast machine. The second type of stone is granite. And granite, it is between 6 and 7 in Mohs scale. Why 6 and 7? Because it contains feldspar, it is 6 on Mohs scale, and contains quartz, it is 7 on Mohs scale, the scale of solidness. By the way, 6 is, or granite is now the same level as iron on Mohs scale. Okay, so imagine we are talking about something, it is the same level of iron. So what kind of tool we need to cut granite or to cut iron? Okay, so I understood from listening to many of the explanations, and by the way, Flinders Petrie, the old English Egyptologist, was one of these people who first paid attention to what I'm going to explain now. What we call it, these striations, the tool mark. I understand that the modern machine, like the tube drill or even the disc saw, it spins 700 times per second to make the cut. Okay, 700 times per second. That's why you don't see much striations all the way through the cut. You see maybe one, and then after 10 centimeters, you see one more, and then 5 or 7 centimeters, you see another one. Okay. But when you check the ancient Egyptian cuts, you see the striations are aligned one after the other. Every millimeter, there is one. Sometimes every half millimeter. So they are one after the other, like a long list of striations behind each other. So what I understood from those engineers and from Flinders Petrie, that the ancient machine was not fast like the modern machine. It was spinning one round per second, just one round. But so the modern machine spins 700 times per second, and it cuts 1 millimeter. The ancient machine spins one time per second, and also it cuts 1 millimeter. But it uses pressure, not speed. So the pressure was the reason to have this kind of precise cut. I was explaining this for years, but later I had to pay attention to something else. That this tool we are talking about, this advanced tool, was being held by a human hand, controlled by a person, a worker, or it was part of a mechanism run by a computer program. According to the precision, and we saw in hundreds, maybe thousands of pieces, I can tell you it was a computer program which was controlling the whole process. So that machine or that cutting tool was part of a bigger mechanism doing this work.
Right. That's incredible, because you can tell that that type of a tool, we really I don't know of any tool like that that exists at this exact moment that can make that level of a cut without damaging. For example, on some of the pottery that we saw at the museum, at the Egyptian Museum, to be able to cut those little tiny holes through that solid stone without damaging the artistry, I don't think we have any kind of a drill bit that can achieve that level of sophistication right now today. Have you heard of anything like that?
Look, to understand about what happened, I had to go to the factory of alabaster and marble, and I saw what they are doing. And I can tell you, I saw great machines. I saw a level and the size of machines I didn't expect. So I can tell you, we have great technology and we have great machines can do miracles. But you are absolutely right. Especially when we talk about the granite boxes like the Serapeum. These boxes, I will not say it will be impossible to be done by modern technology, but it is going to be very, very hard work. It won't be easy at all, and it won't be cheap. Okay, but theoretically, yes, we can do something like this. We can do the granite boxes like the Serapeum in modern days. That is theoretically, okay? But the fact is, each box will take long time, very precise work, a big number of technicians and workers, and it will cost us a lot. It will cost like from $500,000 to $1 million, okay, to produce just one box.
Yeah. Now, let's talk about how, because I see somebody commenting about diamond is harder than some of the stones. We know that the diamond is harder than some of the stones. The problem is not that diamond is harder, but there's a problem with utilizing the diamond bit to create some of these sophisticated cuts in this stone without damaging the artwork. Can you talk on that a little bit?
Yes, diamond is a good solution, of course. The blade, we call it the diamond blade, But the problem is not just the diamond; it is the size of the blade. Like when we talk about the serapion boxes, okay, we talk about the distance more than 2 meters, okay, deep, and we can see this clearly at the unfinished box at the Egyptian Museum. By the way, very few groups, including of course our groups, are able to see it because it is hidden in a corner near the wall. Millions of visitors every year of Egypt, they come and visit the Egyptian Museum without seeing this unfinished box. So we can see the size of the cut, huge cut. So it requires a huge disc blade.
Yeah.
In modern days, we have such huge disc. We talk about at least 1 to 2 meters diameter, covered with diamond or diamond dust. Okay, this is too much for our modern technology. Yes, we have discs like half meter, okay, maximum half meter diameter size. But more than 1 meter, no, I don't think that we have this kind of technology.
No.
So yes, diamond
No,
is
we
a good
don't have
solution, but it is not the only possibility. I think there is something different they used, and we can see this where at the unfinished obelisk, what we call it the scoop mark. This we don't know what kind of tool can produce this.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw that scoop mark when we went to the unfinished obelisk. It's really crazy to see the scoop rounded out next, out of what seems to be solid granite in the ground.
Yes.
Yeah. How big is that unfinished obelisk? How big is it?
This was, I think, if it was finished, it would be the biggest ever in Egypt. It is about, and some sources say 43 meters. One piece of granite, 43 meters
Say that one.
tall.
Say it one more time because you broke up again. Say it one more time.
Yeah. The height of this obelisk would be 43 meters.
Wow, amazing.
But almost one estimate weight is 1,200 ton.
1,200 tons, 43 meters tall. And the hypothesis that most archaeologists have come up with is that they were going to somehow cut this solid granite 1,200 ton stone out of the ground. They were going to etch hieroglyphs onto it that looked almost like they were laser cut. And then without breaking it, they were going to put it on a boat and sail it down the Nile. Now, I know a little bit about marine.
We need a boat longer than 43 meters.
That's what I was going to tell you. We need a boat much longer than 43 meters because what happens when you take a mass like a giant obelisk that weighs 1,200 tons and is 43 meters long, you would need a boat significantly long, about 1/3 longer than 43 meters. And it would have to have an extremely wide base of that boat, of that ship. It wouldn't be a boat, it'd be a ship, because you have to have mass displacement. So you need mass displacement in order to do that. Now, what I was saying, Mohamed, was you would need almost another 25 or third more of the ship to be able to even take that gigantic obelisk. But also the base of that ship would need to be extremely wide to have mass displacement and stability, because you can't afford for that thing to rock to any side or the other, because that obelisk is going to slide and it's going to make the boat capsize. The next problem that we have with this theory is to get the obelisk onto the boat. You can't slide it onto the boat because, number one, it would break. Number two, it would damage the boat. It would damage the dock. You have to lift this thing up, move it over the ship, and gently bring it down at dead center of gravity of that ship. And then when you get to your destination, the same technique must be used to remove it from the ship. So you have to lift a 1,200-ton obelisk without breaking it, without destroying it, without cracking it. What kind of technology can do that right now? I don't think we have that.
Yes, but let me explain something, because some people may tell you, what about these obelisks were taken out of Egypt? We have around 20 or 25 obelisks were taken out of Egypt, okay? All of them, except one, all of them are broken obelisks, okay? When they targeted big obelisks, the moment they started to take the obelisk out of the temple, change it, and the obelisk was broken to half and from the middle. Okay, that's why when you go to Turkey, ancient Constantinople, when you go to the base is almost the half of the obelisk itself, the modern level of the base.
Yes.
Is the obelisk. The only one is
losing him a little bit.
Full size is the one from in front of Luxor Bay, 17 meters, as a primitive work, lots of labors, but no more than 17 or 20 meters long.
Well, you see we're losing his signal there again. Let me put the link to his book here in the live chat. Egypt Before the Written History. You don't want to miss an opportunity to read this book. This book is amazing. And I'm putting his link to Amazon in here right now. It's a bestseller on Amazon. Let me bring Mohamed back up. Sorry, we're having some technical difficulties. I think it's the internet connection between our countries, or they don't want this information to get out. I don't know which one it is. But, you know, you're giving some great knowledge. So the book, Egypt Before the Written History, amazing book. And you'll be able to come to the book signing. So if you want Mohamed to sign your book Sunday morning at the Adrian R Center in Miami, Florida, make sure you buy a copy of this book on Amazon. Okay, I dropped the link in the live chat. I'll drop it in there again. Make sure you buy a copy of his book, bring it with you to Miami, and Mohamed will be there at the book signing to sign your book Sunday morning. And of course, you may be able to get it signed Saturday at the speaking conference, because we're having an amazing speaking conference featuring Mohamed Ibrahim, Robert Edward Grant, myself, Billy Carson, and my wife, Elizabeth Carson. And she's going to host a speaking panel of women and talk about consciousness, mental health, biohacking, and other great, incredible topics as well. Something you just don't want to miss. All right. We have something there for everyone on Saturday. I'll drop the link to that one more time. But while we're doing that, I want you guys to check out the Conscious Awards commercial.
Hey everyone, I'm Elizabeth Carson, and I'm thrilled to introduce to you an extraordinary weekend event happening right here in Miami, Florida on August 3rd and 4th. It's none other than the second annual Forbidden Conscious Awards weekends. After the tremendous success of last year's event with over 1,200 attendees from around the globe, we knew we had to make this year's event even more spectacular. On Saturday, we have a captivating conference lined up featuring world-renowned speakers such as Mohamed Ibrahim, Merkaba 13, Robert Grant, Billy Carson, and a women's panel hosted by yours truly. Following the conference, we'll set sail for a VIP yacht cruise at sunset, where you'll have the chance to mingle with your favorite nominees and celebrity guests, all hosted by 19 Keys. Sunday, August 4th, kicks off with a Forbidden Knowledge book publishing signing event, followed by the highly anticipated second annual Forbidden Conscious Awards. This is a red carpet affair, so come dressed to impress. Remember last year we surprised a lucky guest with an Audi A4 during the awards, and this year we're upping the ante with a chance to win a Mercedes-Benz. So make sure you secure your tickets early. This event is sure to sell out quickly. I cannot wait to see each and every one of you there for what promises to be an unforgettable weekend of education, inspiration, celebration, and glamour.
All right, that's the Forbidden Conscious Awards, second annual, coming up. And Mohamed Ibrahim is actually one of the nominees, one of the top 5 nominees for author in the author category. So congratulations, Mohamed, on being a nominee. And hopefully if people continue to vote, which they are, I've been dropping the link in the live chat, you'll be there in person. So you may be the one that wins the author category. I know you got a lot of strong competition there. Paul Wallace, Mohamed Ibrahim, Matthew LaCroix, and several other incredible authors are also in that category. So it's tough. It's a tough one, but the voting is up to the people. You guys vote by going to the link I dropped in the chat. You can go and vote for your favorite author, and we're going on votes based from the actual fans, not from any committee or anything else. You guys select who wins these awards. We decided to give people their flowers while they're still alive. So that's what we're doing. We're representing people, giving them recognition, because one thing that people need from time to time is a little bit of inspiration and a little bit of gratitude, letting them know that we appreciate them, that we thank them, that we want to honor them. And you'll be surprised how far that can push someone that feels like they've been doing a lot of work for humanity and maybe not getting a good thank you or a solid piece of gratitude, all of a sudden gets nominated for an award and just gives them like energy. It gives them more fuel to keep thriving and keep going. And then also for people that have been thinking about getting involved in, trying to uplift humanity in various different ways, they may see this as an opportunity to say, look, I'm already trying something. Let me step my game up and maybe I'll get nominated one day. Maybe I will get an award one day. Not that they're doing it for that, but it is always nice to be recognized and to be told you're doing a great job and to be told that we appreciate you. So we're looking forward to it. Mohamed, I'm going to hop on another podcast here with Black Magic 363 shortly. Are there anything else you want to tell everyone tonight?
Yeah, well, I'll tell you an exclusive news.
Okay.
In my book, people can read about the ancient Egyptian geology, and they will find that I'm talking about the flint tools were found in Egypt. Some of these flint tools, I start from 12,000 BC all the way to 25,000, 50,000, 100, 150, 250, 500,000, and 2.3 million BC. So we have... Wow. We found tools in East Cairo, 2.3 million BC. So far, that was a surprise for me in the beginning and for many audience. I was in one of the museums in Egypt in the last 2 months, and I was taking photos to a collection of flint tools. I already have these photos from years, but I never stopped taking photos. So because I bought a new phone, this new Samsung phone, the camera is phenomenal. So I was using the zoom, and because it is like I think 24x. So I was taking some good photos for these flint tools. I was checking the photos maybe like 2 weeks ago, and I found this surprise. That one of the flint tools on the surface, there is a tool mark, the same like we see on the ancient jars and vases. I checked this many, many times, and I contacted some engineers, and they told me, yes, it looks like a tool mark. They needed to see it in person, but that will require permissions and some kind of preparations. But I can tell you from my own experience, it is 100% tool mark, like what we see on many objects. But the surprise is what? That this stone, this tool, flint tool, is dated by the geologist to be 250,000 BC.
Wow.
So
Wow.
there was technology at that time, or the person who made this tool, he lived at the time. He found pieces of technology after maybe it was disappeared, because I'm talking in this book about layers of civilizations. We're not talking about one ancient civilization disappeared. No, we're talking about maybe hundreds of them. Okay.
Wow.
So 250,000 BC, there was a chance to use some ancient tool, high-tech tool. Okay.
Wow. That is amazing. Listen, everyone, if y'all want to hear, I just heard this for the first time. If you want to hear knowledge like this, make sure you come to the Forbidden Conscious Awards. Make sure you come to the conference. I'm going to drop the link right now where you can get conference tickets on Saturday, August 3rd. You can get tickets to the actual award show for Sunday, August the 4th on that link I just dropped. We want to see you down there. And Mohamed, thank you for coming on tonight. Everyone, go and get the book, Egypt Before the Written History, The Lost Technology of Ancient Egypt. And the link is in the caption of this video or this audio. And I will see you very soon, my friend.
Sure, yes. Nice talking to you, Billy.
All right. Tell your wife I said hello.
Okay. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye-bye. All right, guys. That was Mohamed Ibrahim, all the way from Egypt. I'm sorry for some of the technical glitches in there, but it was, you're just connecting from here all the way to Egypt. And sometimes the internet isn't the best. It just depends on the usage and everything else. We were able to get a couple of good nuggets out of tonight's podcast. But that was Mohamed Ibrahim, and he's just an amazing human being. Him and his wife are just amazing. They came all the way from Egypt to visit us in Florida and stayed with us for about a few days, and we hung out and just had a great time. Just a great human being. And I'm looking forward to seeing my good friend again very soon. I'll see him in August, and then I'll see him again in September because I'm taking people on tour to Turkey and Göbekli Tepe and so forth. And then I'll see him again in September when I take another 100+ people on a tour of Egypt again for the 4th time. And we'll have a great time in Egypt. If you want to register for Egypt 2025, I'll drop the link for you because, again, as usual, these tours sell out extremely, extremely fast. Let me grab the link for you real quick for the 12-day tour of Egypt coming up in 2025. As it's already been gaining a lot of subscribers or registrations. So I just dropped a link to you for 2025. If you want to come hang out with us in Egypt and see the most amazing things on this planet, then you have to register for the Forbidden Tour of Egypt. All right. I'm coming out with a Forbidden Tour of Peru in just a few more days. I'll be dropping the link to that very soon. If you want to come hang out with us in Peru and let me take you on the Forbidden Tour of Peru, where we'll go pretty much everywhere. We're going to hike up Rainbow Mountain. We're going to go to Ollantaytambo, Sacsayhuaman. We'll go to the Sacred Valley, of course, Machu Picchu. Just so many places throughout the entire region. Lake Titicaca, which is really up into Bolivia. At that point, we're going to cross over the country line and get into Bolivia. We're going to go to Pumapunku, Tiwanaku, all the most incredible places that you've only seen in documentaries, but you'll be there in person. Your hands will touch these ancient stones. You'll be able to do research on site. You'll hear us speak on these sites and talk about what discoveries are there and what our hypotheses are. It's something you just can't get this kind of stuff from just searching on Google and watching YouTube videos. You got to be there in person. All right. So hopefully some of you guys will get a chance to come hang out with us in Peru and in Egypt in 2025. All right. Don't forget, my book just came out. I've been signing stacks and stacks of this book. There's one stack all the way over here. Let me put this out the way. Already signed. Oh my goodness, they're slipping away. Hold on. All right. I've been signing stacks and stacks of books here all day long. These are for the people that pre-ordered my book. All right, and there's more over here. For the people that pre-ordered my book, Fractal Holographic Universe, The Matrix Code Revealed, I've been signing these books all day long because all the pre-orders were supposed to be autographed. And so now that they're in stock, all the pre-orders, as I promised, are being signed and autographed by me, by Billy Carson. So I've been sitting here signing away these books. My autograph is in here, right? And just signing away all these books so that we can ship them out and get them out to all the people that put pre-orders in a few months ago. The book is available on Amazon. It's a bestseller. It's a bestseller right now in fractal mathematics. It's a bestseller in quantum theory and a bestseller in science and philosophy in just 1 week. All right. Amazing book. Earlier today, I read a little bit from this book. I got a few more minutes before I have to hop off. I have to go over to Black Magic 363 and hop on there with him at 9:30 on that YouTube account. But I will read to you the review that I got from the director of Harvard's Institute for Theory and Computation. He's an astrophysicist, Avi Loeb. He says, a fascinating journey from the mathematics of the fractals to the physics of the universe and the nature of consciousness. Billy Carson uses his broad-ranging vision to enrich the reader with philosophical and spiritual insights. An exhilarating read. Avi Loeb, best-selling author, extraterrestrial, and director of Harvard's Institute for Theory and Computation. Okay. Then I also got a great review from Caroline Corey. She's an award-winning producer. She says, As Above, So Below takes on a whole new meaning in Billy Carson's new book, The Fractal Holographic Universe. It offers a fresh and fascinating perspective on the universal laws that govern all aspects of life, from the micro to the macro, from the human brain to the very fabric of space-time. You will feel inspired and awestruck at the thought that we may have found a more profound meaning to our existence and our place in the universe. Caroline Corey, author and award-winning filmmaker, Consciousness, Science, and Spirituality, Superhuman. And she also did another incredible documentary called The Invisible Made Visible. And of course, one of her biggest hits, A Tear in the Sky, omniummedia.com. And then I had another great review from Michael Beckworth. Reverend Michael Beckworth gave me another amazing review. Let's see if I can find his review real quick. Thank you, Michael Beckworth. Michael Beckworth says, Fractal Holographic Universe seamlessly unifies the realm of our ever-expanding consciousness with the real science of truth that each of us is a holographic expression of the entire universe. Billy Carson has done it again. Michael Beckworth, founder of Agape International Spiritual Center. So that's beautiful. Okay. And again, it's available on Amazon. #1 bestseller, Fractal Mathematics. And the foreword was written by Robert Edward Grant. So shout out to Robert Edward Grant, who wrote the foreword to the book. Okay. I'll read a small amount of his foreword because it's a very long foreword. For many thousands of years, mankind cast its gaze into the night skies and asked its most existential questions. Who are we? Why are we here? Are we alone? Where are we going? And what if, at all, is the purpose of life? In an attempt to make sense of what can at times appear to be somewhat senseless, a rich mosaic of cave paintings, lore, mathematics, time, measurements, mythology, civilizations, religious and spiritual texts, history, science, psychology have emerged as artifacts that inform us along our collective journey toward answering such vexing questions. In the 4th century BC, the polymath and philosopher Plato posited a new theoretical thought of perceiving the universe in his now well-known allegory of the cave within his book, The Republic. While also harboring political overtones of his Plato's day, this novel approach of perceiving the universe notionally presented a reflected and absorbed shadow reality, including the inverted universe, a worldview for what we call reality that was perhaps only a shadow facsimile of another, more original projection. that the experience we are living in is merely a holographic projection of some other more functional and fundamental primary existence that actually has been interconceived of a universal mind. The materialists that followed Plato perceived this distinction as a more metaphysical or metaphorical, therefore philosophical theory of everything, rather than a literal explanation of the human experience altogether that could be proven by reductionistic and empirical experimentation. But he goes on to talk about the quantum theory. He goes on to talk about Max Planck, one of the greatest quantum physicists ever, and the psychology of Carl Jung in his foreword. He did a phenomenal job with the foreword to the book. So make sure you guys get a copy of Fractal Holographic Universe, something you definitely don't want to be without. It's an amazing book. Get a copy for your dad for Father's Day. I guarantee he'll love it. One of the things I did with this book, which is kind of unique, was that it's not really unique, but I wrote it like a science study book, breaking down the information in a way that everyone can easily digest it and understand it, okay? And so I did it that way. This format is what I use to create a system of teaching that will be easily digestible. So there aren't any huge scientific, conversations going on in here. Even though they are huge and scientific, it's put it in a way with bullet points and conclusions to give the reader the ability to digest, discern, and understand exactly what they're reading. Because I think that's the most important thing, is reading comprehension. So I can make it sound super fancy and I can add all these credible words. But at the end of the day, if only a tenth of the people can understand these words because they're not in that field of science, not because they're dumb, they're just not in that field, then it just makes me pat myself on the back. So what I did was I broke it down in a way that I believe that most people can really understand what I'm talking about. And I also included an appendix and a glossary, okay? So hopefully you guys get a sense of the importance of this book, because I really do believe that it's going to give people a different view of the universe themselves and their place in it, okay? And I'll just read the topics. I'll just read you the chapters list real quick. Chapter 1, From Microcosm to Macrocosm. In here I talk about the concept of a fractal, the holographic principle in physics, the basic mathematics of fractals, unveiling the complex patterns of simplicity, linking fractals in the holographic universe. And then in chapter 2, I talk about origins of fractal thinking, historical perspective of fractals, from ancient mosaics to the Mandelbrot, fractal geometry in nature, ferns, coastlines, galaxies, human beings, and programming codes, a detailed exploration, mathematical wonders of fractals, the birth of fractal geometry. And in chapter 3, I go into the holographic principle, a primer, black holes and the origins of the holographic theory, implications for the grand design of the cosmos. In chapter 4, I go into dimensions and scales, the infinite layers, navigating the fractal scales, from quarks to quasars, the role of dimensions in understanding fractality, on unifying space-time through fractal geometry. And in chapter 5, I go into nature's repetitive patterns, which I talk about the Fibonacci, golden ratio, patterns in the human form, growth, decay, and the patterns of life, the role of fractals, fractal rivers, trees, clouds, reading the patterns of nature. In 6, I go into chaos, complexity, and order, the edge of chaos between randomness and order, complex systems and their inherent fractality, how nature optimizes using fractal designs. In chapter 7, I go into consciousness and the holographic brain, the neural network, a fractal perspective, quantum brain theories, and the holographic paradigm. Could consciousness be a holographic fractal? And in chapter 8, I go into fractal cosmology, the universe as a nested hierarchy, galaxies within clusters, within superclusters, cosmic webs, and interconnectedness of matter. In chapter 9, I go into Professor Sylvester James Gates Jr. and the discovery of Adinkra codes. Yes, the Adinkra codes from the Dogon tribe. Pioneering work in supersymmetry and supergravity, discovering Adinkra codes, implications for fundamental physics, the Dogon Adinkra symbols, how holograms work and their connection to fractals, real-world applications and future direction. In chapter 10, I go into spirituality, philosophy, and the fractal universe, ancient wisdom and the recognition of unity, understanding the nature of our reality, philosophical implications of fractal holographic universe, The Quest for Purpose in an Interconnected Cosmos. And in chapter 11, the final chapter, of course, you got to go to 11, Future Explorations and Implications. And then I have the appendix and the glossary. Okay. It's not on Audible yet. It will be on Audible probably, might take about a month to go live, month and a half. Audible isn't that quick. The read for it has already been done in my voice, me, but getting it into the system, it goes through a verification process and everything else. So hopefully it'll be on Audible soon. Also, the compendium should be on Audible soon as well. If you've got my book, Compendium of the Emerald Tablets, it's been out for about 4.5 years, almost 5 now. But I got the read done on that, and I'm really excited to get that on Audible, which is coming very, very soon. All right. So, hey, thank you, everyone. I appreciate y'all. Thanks for hanging out tonight. I'm going to go get myself a cup of coffee, drink some water, take the rest of my vitamins so I can get ready for Black Magic 363 YouTube account tonight. All right. I'll be over there very shortly, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'll be on with Black Magic 363. And again, don't forget, guys, the Forbidden Conscious Awards. I'm going to drop the link one more time. Make sure y'all come on down to Miami and hang out with us. We're going to have a great time together. Come with us, hang out with us, my wife and I on the red carpet. It's going to be an amazing, amazing weekend, just like it was last year. Something you don't want to miss. Instead of waiting for validation from outside sources, we validate ourselves. You see? We don't wait around and go, you know, man, these Grammys and these Oscars, and they're just stealing icons from ancient Egypt, ancient Kemet, and they're just, it's all rigged and nobody's getting the real award and blah, 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 blah. That's a lot of truth, but it's also a lot of complaining. So I said to myself, why should I even complain about these things when I can provide the solution for the problem? The solution is we have our own award show. We give out our own awards. We recognize people that we feel are worthy of receiving awards. We let the people vote for the people that they want to see get awarded. And we treat them with 10-star treatment, not 5-star, 10-star. We fly them in town. We put them in a nice hotel. We get them driven over to the event. It's a black tie affair, red carpet, everything. And it's for consciousness. So we're getting people to come from all over the world, like we did last year, into one room. And there are still lifelong friendships that were created from last year that will never end. People became lifelong friends, people they never knew that they met at the Conscious Awards. Why? Because everyone is on the same frequency. You're meeting people that you can talk to about all of these incredible topics, and they won't think you're crazy. So you can have great conversations, whereas when you go back home, nobody to talk to, very few people to talk to. So this creates lifelong friendships. People become friends. They start visiting each other, and I've heard so many incredible stories about these new relationships that have sprung out of the Conscious Awards. All right. So if you want to be around people on the same frequency and stop complaining about every stinking thing about what's going on in the mainstream award shows, you know, how they're worshiping this and taking this adrenochrome and how they're killing babies and all this kind of stuff. Well, you don't have to worry about that with us. We're not doing that kind of stuff. Come on down to the Forbidden Conscious Awards and support consciousness, support humanity, support growth, inspiration, motivation, right? That's what you got to support. And of course, hey, you get a chance to spend some time in Miami, right on the beach. You know, even if it's only for a couple days, it's just beautiful. It's just incredible. Last year, it was just phenomenal. All right. So come on down. We'll have a great time. I dropped the link in the chat one more time before I get out of here. I'm going to go freshen myself up and get ready for Black Magic 363 YouTube account. All right. I'll see y'all in a little bit. Peace.